Vikings and the Cavemen. American Fork going for the sweep. Pleasant Grove trying to salvage a game before heading off to Lehigh next week. We'll be back with 7 innings of play next on PGSN. For Pleasant Grove, starting at the plate, leading off, second baseman Drew Smith. Behind him, the third baseman R.J. Wilson. Tua Wolfgram batting third. Slater Scow back to the cleanup spot, number 4. Brock Robinson batting 5th. Baxter Henry Dunn goes 6th. Connolly, the pitcher on the mound. C.J. Mascaro, the center fielder. It will take the mound today for Amedi to start the game. Smith steps into the box. He is ready. Mascaro is ready. And we're off here in American Fork. That pitch is high for ball number 1. And the 1-0 in there for strike 1. This umpire is expressive. Mascaro's 1-1. He kicks, deals. Smith fouls that one back and out of play. Count moves to 1-2. Smith has been a staple at the leadoff spot for Pleasant Grove throughout the season, and boy, has he done better than anybody could have ever wished. Here's the 1-2 from Mascaro. Outside, 2-2. Mascaro kicks and deals the 2-2. High, count moves full. Smith with a good plate appearance to open up this ball game. Wilson's on deck. The full count pitch from Mascaro. Winds, deals, high. Smith takes his base. So a runner on first, and R.J. Wilson, a power threat. He hit 2 home runs, his biggest game of the season against Westlake last week. As Mascaro on the mound. Smith is on first. Mascaro a lefty, facing the lefty Wilson. Mascaro kicks, deals. Wilson lines that up the middle. Glove to second, they'll flip to short, throw to first in time. There's a double play. So quickly now, 2 outs here in this inning. As Wilson grounds into a double play. And that brings up Tua Wolfgram with nobody on and 2 outs now. Lefty, the wind to kick the pitch. Outside, 1-0. Pleasant Grove lost the first game 1-0. Lost the second game 5-2. As Wolfgram cuts and misses, there's strike 1. So a 1-1 count now. Mascaro deals. That one's in there for strike 2. Count moves 1-2. As you can assume, Pleasant Grove's offense shut down in the first game and shut out. Second game was a different story. Left a lot of runners stranded, had a lot of opportunities that they just couldn't capitalize on. Here's Mascaro. Wolfgram cuts and misses, and he is going to reach first base on a drop third strike. However you can get on. Slater Scow takes the plate now. He went 1 for 2 on Wednesday before being pinch hit for by Nash Bennett. Scow catches a piece of it. Strike 1. Mascaro deals. That one fouled back as well. Scout's playing in right field today defensively and has an 0-2 count here. Robinson on deck. He's playing center. As Pleasant Grove's got left field, right field, center field in the lineup. 3-4-5. Wolfgram, Scout, Robinson. Mascaro's 0-2. As he'll check on Wolfgram. And back in plenty of time. The first baseman, Watts, pitched on Wednesday and had a very good outing. Mascaro's 0-2. Hits him. So Slater takes a base. On an 0-2 count, that's a mistake by Mascaro. Runners on first and second. And you bring Robinson up now with 2 outs. For American Fork, their defense going from first to third in the infield. It's Watts, Jones, Walker, Howard. Going from left to right in the outfield, it's Ingersoll. Murdoch, who will not hit today, is playing center. Greening in right. Paulson is behind the dish with Mascaro on the mound. That's the battery today for the Cavemen. They're wearing red on top, white on bottom. Pleasant Grove wearing baby blues all the way through. Mascaro deals to Robinson in the dirt. 1-0. Runner stay put. Robinson has been more of a recent addition to the lineup, but he's been tearing it up and has slowly moved from 9th all the way up to 5th. He's batting .280 with a .344 OBP and a .320 slug. He's just found ways to get on. Mascaro deals in the dirt again, 2-0 to Robinson. It's the shortstop Baxter standing in the on-deck circle. It's Scow on first, Wolfgram on second. Mascaro deals to the plate. There's strike one. A 2-1 count to Robinson now. May not have been the pitch he wanted in this situation. Mascaro gets set for the 2-1 with 2 outs here in the top of the first. Pleasant Grove threatening. Mascaro deals. Robinson cuts and misses. Count moves 2-2. Pleasant Grove's had 3 runners reach so far. Smith drew a leadoff walk before Wilson grounded into a double play. Wolfgram reached on an error, and Scow got hit. So no hits here in this first inning, but some traffic on the base paths from Pleasant Grove. Robinson steps off. The lefty with the 2-2. Inside, count moves full, and that's going to start the carousel on the bases. Runners will go on the pitch. Payoff pitch here early in the top of the first inning. Mascaro spent some time thinking about it. And the payoff. Robinson serves that into center field. Coming up and making the catch is Murdoch. No hits, 1 walk, 1 error. Pleasant Grove leaves 2 men on. In the top of the first inning, Austin Connolly and the Vikings defense coming up next here on PGSN. American Forks lineup, the pitcher Mascaro will lead off. Walker batting second. Jones, Watts, Howard go 3, 4, 5. Gagaro DHing, he's batting sixth. The catcher Polson batting seventh. Ingersoll and Greening in left and right are batting eighth and ninth today. The center fielder Murdoch is the designated defender for American Fork. For Pleasant Grove on the mound, it's number 35, AC Austin Connolly, as he makes, I believe, his first start this season in mostly relief. 13 and 2 innings, 7 hits allowed, 3 walks, 5 batters hit, 11 strikeouts, only 1 earned run. So sporting a .51 ERA. He faces a very potent American Fork offense and will try to keep them at bay. The leadoff hitter Mascaro, Connolly deals, cut on and missed, 0-1. Early on Connolly's first dealing. Here's his second. High and outside, 1-1. The man behind the dish is Cale Dunn, the player of the game from Wednesday's contest. And that was in large part due to his contribution from behind the plate. As that pitch just outside, 2-1. But Dunn did an excellent job behind the plate defensively. Connolly kicks, deals the 2-1. That one's grounded. Second baseman Smith comes in. Fields, flip to Henry, is in time. And that's the first batter retired here in the bottom of the first inning for Pleasant Grove. They'll throw it around the infield. But that brings up Jet Walker, the shortstop. For Pleasant Grove defensively, very similar, if not identical, to what we've seen the majority of the season. Going left to right in the outfield is Wolfgram, Robinson, Scow. First to third in the infield is Henry, Smith, Baxter, Wilson. That pitch fouled out of play down the right field line. Dunn and Connolly, the battery on the mound. Connolly's 0-1 to Walker. Inside, 1-1. AC's 1-1 is fouled out of play, 1-2. It's the second baseman Jones on deck for American Fork. Connolly's 1-2, kicks, deals, cut on and miss, drop third, strike, Dunn picks it up, throw to first. In time, there's the first strikeout of today's game for Austin Connolly, and that brings up Jones with the first baseman Watts moving to the on-deck circle, if Jones can get on. Connolly deals. That one's lined down the third base line, but it curves foul. An 0-1 count now. Connolly quick on the mound. There's strike two. Either on the swing or the pitch was a strike nonetheless. So quickly up 0-2 in this count. Connolly deals. There's strike three. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. American Fork goes down. 1, 2, 3 here in the bottom of the first inning. Pleasant Grove will send up Baxter, Henry, and Dunn. That's 6, 7, 8 in their lineup in the top of the second to face Mascaro. We'll be back here on PGSN. One thing I wanted to highlight here was the catching for both of these teams. For American Fork, it's been Polson all 3 days. For Pleasant Grove, it's been Thane, Dunn, and Dunn. And the catching has really been, there hasn't been many, if any, mistakes by the catchers this series. Excellent job behind the plate for all 3 guys who have made appearances. And Polson catching 3 games in a row is an impressive feat. Baxter at the dish now. He shows bunt down the third base line, foul. Baxter is fast, as you can see him get out of the box quickly. He's batting .220 this season with a .340 OBP, 7.5% strikeout rate, 15% walk rate. And with his first plate appearance of today's game, he's batting 6th. Mason Henry on deck. Mascaro winds, deals. Baxter puts that one in play. Watts fields. He'll take it himself to the bag, the first out of this 2nd inning. And that brings up Mason Henry. He was the man I expected to start today. Instead, he'll play first. Wouldn't be surprised to see him come in as a bullpen option. But opening this game at the first base bag. Mascaro, Henry lightly swings at that one. The 0-1 count, the catcher Dunn on deck. Mascaro deals. Henry lines that down the third base line, gobbled up at the corner. Howard to Watts in time. The 2nd out of this inning as Mascaro now working quickly. Cale Dunn had an early inning double the last game and was pinch ran for on second base, but that run ended up scoring. So and then was amazing behind the dish. So he earned himself this third game as Mascaro drops a strike in there, 0-1. But the 0-1 from Mascaro catches the outside corner, 0-2. Deegan Thane, another man who we'll see behind the dish some games. He's DHing today. He's on deck. Mascaro's 0-2 is high, 1-2. Take all the way from Dunn. Mascaro's 1-2. Wind, the kick, the pitch. Did he go? Third. First base umpire doesn't say, but they're going to say he didn't, 2-2. Now they're going to ask him. No, he didn't, 2-2. Polson got up and pointed at him, and he just didn't react. So then the umpire pointed at him, and then he said he didn't swing. So 2-2. As Mascaro deals. Outside, count moves full. Dunn works from 0-2 to 3-2, and we've got a payoff pitch again. As Mascaro deals in the dirt, Dunn takes his walk. That's a very positive sign from Pleasant Grove here in this first 2 innings. Both how Dunn has been performed the last 2 games, but in both innings with 2 outs, Pleasant Grove moved the count full and really put up a competitive at-bat. Even though there was 2 outs on the board in that first inning, it was first and second with 2 outs, and here bases were empty. But Thane still has a tough competitive at-bat and gets himself on first base where Harvard comes in to pinch run for him. Dunn, excuse me, I believe I said Thane. Dunn worked a walk. Now it's Thane at the dish. Mascaro deals low, 1-0. Harvard, the man on first, pinch running for Dunn. Mascaro deals, foul back, 1-1 to Thane. It's the leadoff man, Drew Smith, on deck. As Pleasant Grove's lineup will turn over after Thane. Mascaro's 1-1. Cut on and missed. Thane was early. And the count moves 1-2. It was a good look for Thane. Swing path looked great, but timing was just a little off. Now a 1-2 upcoming. Here with 2 outs, Mascaro deals in the dirt, 2-2. Harward stays put at first. Mascaro. Harward goes in the dirt. They're just going to give him second as a free base for Rex Harward. And now a runner in scoring position with a full count. Mascaro didn't like the first sign. Now he's ready. Payoff pitch once again here in the top of the second. Mascaro deals. Inside, Thane takes his base, so back-to-back walks with 2 outs, put runners on first and second, and a very good Drew Smith at the plate.
For the Vikings, now at the plate, number 8, the second baseman, Drew Smith.
The infield for American Fork still just focused on getting 1 man out. That's all they need to get out of this inning. So they'll stay back towards the grass. The field shifted right a little bit. Mascaro deals. Smith pops that one into left center field. Murdoch drifts over, calls for it, camps under it, and makes the catch. So Mascaro works himself in and out of trouble, but after knotted up a 0. We'll stay with you in between these innings. But we talked about yesterday how me and GK had a talk yesterday about how if you can get Smith up for the 3rd time within 4 innings, in the first 4 innings, that's when Pleasant Grove's offense has really had some damage to do. And he has 2 plate appearances in 2 innings. So looking good and on track to reach those 3 plate appearances in 4 innings. And really good guys leading off the next inning for Pleasant Grove with Wilson, Wolfgram, and Scow. But really good guys leading off this inning for American Fork with Watts, Howard, and Gagera, who have all had really good series. Watts was even better on the mound than he has been at the plate yesterday, kind of shutting down Pleasant Grove. But hasn't really made an impact with his bat quite yet. He's a guy who you always come into a series kind of fearing, and we'll see what he can do. Lehigh up early on Lone Peak. That's who Pleasant Grove will face next week. Lehigh, that is. And Westlake and Skyridge playing another competitive game. Skyridge won 11-10 yesterday. And so that brings up Dax Watts as Connolly is done warming up. Got 2 strikeouts, and American Fork went down 1-2-3 in the first. Watts trying to turn over a new leaf and have the second look a little different for the Cavemen. Connolly, the righty on the mound. He deals. Watts shoots that up the middle over the outstretched hand of a diving Smith. And there's a leadoff single for Dax Watts. A first hit of the game for American Fork. And now the left-handed Howard, the 3rd baseman, will take the dish now. Wilson is in on the grass on 3rd base. And Henry is holding Watts on first. Watts tried to steal yesterday, and Dunn threw him out on his knees. Connolly, he'll check on Watts. He's back in time. So Wilson's fearing the bunt and ready to field the bunt. While Henry is ready for another pickoff move. Connolly, first pitch of this at-bat. Grounded weakly to Wilson. On to Smith. There, that one's in time. Smith to Henry, not in time. So a fielder's choice and quickly out of the box was Howard.
For the caveman at the plate, the designated hitter number 9, Modi Guerrero.
I think Smith is just happy he didn't get a cleat to his foot again. As Guerrero takes the mound now with the runner on first, but instead of Watts, now it's Howard. Still knotted up at 0, and checking on the runner at first is unsuccessful for AC. Howard's fast, as we just saw, beating out that double play, and they're worried about him stealing back-to-back pickoffs. Connolly, the first pitch of this at-bat, will have to wait as he throws back to Henry again. Henry's holding the runner on. Connolly deals. Outside, 1-0. Guerrero, the lefty. As Connolly will check on the runner again. I'm trying to figure out, Duffy, if you can help me out, what is on his left sleeve? What does that say? Because I can see an S, and I can't tell if it's a U or a V next to it. It's a J? I don't know what that means. I'll check on him again. Just 1-0 on the mound for AC. It's not, are you sure it's not a U? If you look at the man on deck, it looks like a U. Maybe they're different? That could have been dangerous for American Fork if that ball had been caught. It's a US. Could have been dangerous for American Fork if the ball was caught, because Pleasant Grove would have had a chance. So I wonder if it's a acronym or if it's just us, and that's all it's supposed to mean is us. Pitch grounded weakly foul. Pleasant Grove's infield double play depth. As there's one out here in this bottom of the second inning. Moves 0-2. As Polson quickly down in the count. It's Guerrero at first, Howard at third. It's a familiar place for Howard. That's where he plays defensively. Connolly's 0-2. Fouled back. And the count will stay there. So we stayed an 0-2 count. As Connolly getting ready to deal. Fires. That pitch skied to left field. Wolfgram moving back on the track, on the wall. It bounces off the wall but stays in play. Wolfgram throws in. They're going to keep runners at second and third, but one run scores on the one-out RBI double by Polson. After going down quickly 0-2 in the count there. That's really just a mature at-bat. Not trying to reach for anything. Still going after what you want, and serves a double into left field. So Ingersoll comes up now with two runners in scoring position and only one out here. You could pick and choose, if you're Pleasant Grove, a strikeout. Pleasant Grove brings the infield in. They're going to try and cut off a run at home. Is this music? No offense, there's just no instrumental. There it is. Right before they turn it off. Connolly deals. That pitch fouled. Out of play down the right field line. So American Fork struggled to make contact in the first inning, striking out twice. And now feels like they've done nothing but make contact here in this second inning. Whether that's fouling pitches off or putting them in play. Connolly's 0-1 is skied, foul out of play. Deja vu. Now an 0-2 count. As it's Greening, the right fielder, on deck. After Greening, the lineup turns over. Back to Mascaro. Connolly with the 0-2. Goes high, but it's fouled back and into the netting. So 2 runners in scoring position, second and third. It's Gajero at third and Polson at second. The DH and the catcher. And now the left fielder, Ingersoll, trying to bring him in. Connolly deals the 0-2. That pitch lined to left field. Wolfgram comes up, and it's going to drop in front of him. He drops the bobble, and the throw in will hold the runners at first and third, but a second run scores for American Fork in this inning, and now it's 2-0 Cavemen. As Coach Cap is going to come out and have a talk with his pitcher. After such a good first inning, Connolly has struggled here in the second. Only 1 out here with runners on the corners and 2 runs already put up on the board. American Fork's going to have 4 guys in their huddle down the third base line. So it's Greening at the dish. I missed it, but Polson is being pinch ran for. So he is not at third. But Ingersoll stays in the game at first. Polson got pinch ran for by River Litke, a sophomore. Bunt shown. Strike 1 at the plate. No contact made. Getting word from our dugout insider, GK Jared. K9 in the bullpen. That's Keaton Nordic. As that one's put in play, it goes foul. So an 0-2 count now, and the bunt will likely come off. But an 0-2 with 1 out here. Greening's shown bunt the first 2 pitches. Now that likely comes off with 2 strikes. As Connolly's 0-2 is lined to center field, and that one's going to drop. It goes all the way to the wall, cut off by Robinson. His throw back in is going to hold the runners at second and third. But a 5th hit in this inning, and it's now 3-0 American Fork. One thing that should be highlighted, though, is Mascaro comes up. Is Pleasant Grove's defense has done a great job. These were situations where a couple more runs could have scored. Doesn't cut that off like he does. That's a pitch that could go and move and move Greening to third and bring Ingersoll in from first, going first to home on a double or a triple. But instead, Robinson cuts it off, and a chance to limit the damage here. As Connolly has run into trouble here in this second inning. So Greening on second. Ingersoll on third. And Coach Henry, I think he's going to make a call to the bullpen, and that's going to be it for Austin Connolly today.
We'd like to thank the following sponsors of American Fork Baseball, the A-Team.
So AC makes it through 1 1/3
Gun Chiropractic.
and is responsible for all the runners left on before the ball is turned over to Keaton Nordic here in the bottom of the second inning as he trots out from the Cavemen bullpen. He'll face the top of the order. Mascaro, Walker, and Jones. And Connolly's responsible for the runners on second and third. Nordic had a really good outing yesterday as he went 1 2/3, facing one more than the minimum. Walked one guy, hit one guy, but didn't allow a single run and got Van Haney out of a little bit of a jam in the fourth inning. I do approve of some of American Fork's music taste. Something in the Orange before the game. I remember everything now. Some Zach Bryan going on here at the ballpark. As I would have expected Henry to be the first guy out of the bullpen, but he's going to stay at first base. We talked yesterday as well about Nordic, but time's call for us to talk about him again. Nordic, with his updated numbers, through 6 2/3, only allowed 2 hits this season, but his issues have come with free passes. 3 guys walked, 4 guys hit by a pitch, 6 strikeouts, 3 earned runs. He has a pickoff move and a 3.15 ERA. But his whip just .75, and his batting average against is a really, really good number, .091. So that's kind of the encouraging numbers for Keaton Nordic. And he comes in trying to get out of another jam in back-to-back days.
Number 4, C.J. Mascaro.
But a tough place to be put for Keaton Nordic. As he deals. That one's cut on and missed by Mascaro. As 2 runners in scoring position for American Fork. They've already plated 3 this inning. Up early on a Pleasant Grove team trying to avoid getting swept. Nordic deals. That one grounded weakly. Nordic will field, hold the runners in place, and get the out at first base. Good defensive play by Nordic to look the runner back to third and then get the out. So that brings up Jet Walker now with 2 outs, but still 2 runners in scoring position. Nordic checks on both runners. Now he drops a strike in there. Dunn had trouble receiving it, but Nordic put it in the zone, and the count moves 0-1. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the second, Nordic deals. That one lined past the infield. It's going to get to Wolfgram. 2 runs will score, as it's a 2-out, 2-run RBI single. And that moves Connolly's line final. And it's not what he was hoping for today.
Hitting for American Fork, number 8, Cooper Jones.
as that's only the second hit allowed off Nordic this season. We'll give you Connolly's stat line in a second, but that brings up Jones with a runner on first. Yeah, no better time than now. Connolly finishes the day going 1 1/3. He went through the order one time. 5 hits allowed, struck out 2 guys, and 5 earned runs will be tagged against him. Nordic deals. Low, 1-0. As Nordic checks back on first, back in time. Noah Brady in the bullpen now. As runner goes, done from his knees again. Now such luck this time, but a strike in there for Nordic. And a runner moves into scoring position. American Fork put 5 across yesterday, 1 across in the first game. As Nordic deals, there's a ball, 2-1. Those are both numbers that Pleasant Grove's offense should be able to beat, especially that 1 run in the first game is one that just leaves a sour taste in your mouth. A complete game by Hudson Banks, just allowing that 1 run, and offense couldn't do anything against Hollenbach. And they dropped the first game of this series. Even yesterday, Pleasant Grove brought the tying run to the plate in the 7th inning. But too much damage was done at the beginning of that inning, getting 2 quick outs as that pitch lined foul. So Pleasant Grove was forced to eat a second loss of the series. And then today, American Fork has jumped on their starting pitching to take a quick 5-0 lead, even, again, when the offense has had opportunities that they haven't capitalized on. Nordic's 2-2 is lined left center field. That one is going to drop, and a 6th run is going to come across. Robinson cuts it off. That'll hold the runner at first. But American Fork is laying it on here, and Coach Henry is going to come out to Keaton. And his day is quickly over. Just as quickly as it started. I don't know where his glove went. Doesn't look like it's on his hand, but K9 gets 1 out before being taken out. I think Pleasant Grove might be seeing a little bit of arm fatigue after Wednesday going 1 2/3, and now today going a third of an inning. Getting 1 out. Pleasant Grove down early, 6-0 here. As Noah Brady will enter the game. I'm trying to find the last time we saw Brady. I know we've seen him this season. Overall, Brady has just the 1 inning with 4 batters faced, 1 strikeout, and no damage done against him in terms of runs. And that 1 inning, I'm still trying to find out who it was pitched against. For Noah Brady. But Pleasant Grove cannot be happy with the way the offense has performed against American Fork in these first 2 games, and there's still a lot of game left, but it's been the pitching staff that struggled today. And Brady doesn't have a very easy first guy to face, as he's going to face Dax Watts with a runner on first. That's Howard. Brady, the third man out of the pen, or the third man on the mound, second man out of the pen today, as he'll check on Howard, who's back in time. American Forks dugout loving it. As Brady will check on Howard again, who's back in time. So the first pitch of this at-bat coming up. As Brady deals. That pitch skied foul. Henry moving into foul territory. No one's going to get to it. It falls in no man's land. 0-1 count. Scows shaded far towards center field. Had no chance to cover the distance to get to it. American Fork 4-1 in region play so far. With this game still to change that, either for the better or worse, depending on how these last 5 innings go. Brady deals the 0-1, high, 1-1. Runner goes, he's out! What a throw by Cale Dunn, who has just been spectacular behind the plate in these last 2 games as he catches a runner stealing and ends the damage. But American Fork plates 6. It's 6-0 after 2. We'll be back here on PGSN. Mascaro back for his 3rd inning of work, but this time he's got a 6-run cushion. It's R.J. Wilson leading off for Pleasant Grove. He grounded out his first time up. Wolfgram on deck, Scow in the hole. Robinson will be the 4th guy this inning, depending on how things go. It looks like Pleasant Grove might change up batting order a little bit. Wolfgram's not out yet. That pitch behind Wilson, 1-0. Wolfgram is going to stay on deck, just a little slower to come out. Wilson was not happy with that pitch behind him. I don't blame him. We've talked extensively about how much he gets hit. That pitch inside, 2-0. We've talked extensively about how much he gets hit. And when one goes behind you, it might be an even worse feeling. As he skies that one to right field, moving back and making the catch is Greening. So the first out of this, the 3rd inning. And that brings up Wolfgram. His first time up, Wolfgram reached on a dropped 3rd strike. And his right fielder, Slater Scow, is on deck. Wolfgram cuts and misses, swings over 1, 0-1. Mascaro, the lefty, kicks, deals. Wolfgram shoots that one to center field. In between center, right, second, it's Murdoch who comes up and makes a catch. So 2 quick outs here in the top of the third inning for Pleasant Grove. And that will bring Slater Scow up to the plate. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Mascaro deals. There's a strike, 0-1. I don't know what it is about Mascaro pitching, but American Fork loves to give him run support. Facing Lehigh last week, as that pitch high, 1-1. Facing Lehigh last week, American Fork won 15-4 in 5 innings. Thanks to jumping on Lehigh in the first 2 innings. They went up 11-3 after 2. As that pitch low, 2-1. But it was Mascaro on the mound who pitched the entire game. 5 innings, allowed 12 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, and only struck 1 man out. As he deals inside, 3-1. Three-1 count here with 2 outs. Scow looking to extend the inning, which is exactly what he did his first time up. Mascaro deals. Scow cuts and misses, and the count moves full. So this is a positive sign for the Pleasant Grove offense, that has struggled, to say the least, this series. Is every inning so far they've worked full counts with 2 outs. As Mascaro's payoff pitch is caught on a miss, down goes Scow. So although they've been struggling at the plate, as we'll stay with you and talk about those struggles, although they've been struggling, they have had some positive signs today. Not the only, but the biggest non-positive sign is that they're down 6-0. As Noah Brady's going to come out again. And he's going to have to face Dax Watts again after Dunn caught the runner stealing to end the second inning. But it's 6-0 after 2.5. And Pleasant Grove's offense has just been almost non-existent this series. 8 strikeouts on Wednesday and 4 on Tuesday. So Tuesday, the strikeouts were not the issue. Pleasant Grove, in my personal opinion, just kind of got unlucky. Only 4 hits. They reached on 3 errors. 1 guy got hit, and they had 3 walks. So really good offensive production. They just weren't able to deliver in the clutch when they needed to. Wednesday, strikeouts were the issue. 8 strikeouts for the team. That accounted for 8 of the 21 outs that American Fork had to get. But even the offense looked better. 6 hits that time, reached on 2 errors. 1 man was hit, and 2 walks. So the offense has looked good. And today in the first inning and even the second inning, they're still hitless. But found ways to get on, found ways to create traffic on the base paths, just haven't found a way to bring it home. And that's what they've had to keep searching for this whole series, is a way to bring runs home. As Brady opens up this inning with a pitch to Watts that he grounds to Baxter. The throw is high, and the runner is safe. And Coach Henry has an issue with it, and I don't blame him. It looked like, from my angle, that Henry landed back on the bag, and he beat the runner. And the 2 umpires are going to have a discussion. In high school, obviously, no fancy replay system, so the only thing the first base umpire can do is go talk to the home plate umpire and say, was I wrong? And they'll see. That's all you can do as a coach, is they'll talk now. And they keep him as safe. So Watts reaches on an error. Throwing error by the shortstop Baxter. And a runner on first now with no outs for the third baseman, Howard. Brady deals. High, 1-0. Watts is on first. He tried to steal yesterday. Was unsuccessful. But isn't scared of trying. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Brady look his way a couple times as Brady steps off, and he's going to bring Dunn to the mound. And they cover all their bases. And Dunn heads back. Pleasant Grove allowed 6 runs, all of them earned. 5 by Connolly, 1 by Nordic. All in that second inning. Dunn stopped the bleeding, throwing out a runner at second. Brady deals. There's strike 1, 1-1. As Pleasant Grove, the 1-1 from Brady is fouled back. 1-2. Pleasant Grove's had to grind, and it's hard to grind when you don't have pitches going your way, both on the mound and at the plate. They barreled a lot of balls in that first game and just couldn't get anything to fall where they needed it to. Only scored 2 runs this entire series. And obviously that's not a recipe for success, as Brady throws in the dirt, 2-2. And another man up and warming in the bullpen for Pleasant Grove. It's Jaron Spencer. As the 2-2. Just outside, count moves full. Pleasant Grove side doesn't like it. So a full count here with no outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Brady. Watts goes. Brady deals. That one served to center field. Robinson makes a diving play, but it gets by him. Watts is going to round 3rd. He's coming home. Rounding 2nd, going to 3rd, and they're going to hold him there, is Howard. As a run scores. I think Robinson had the right idea with Watts going. He struggles on the base paths. And so if you can catch that ball, you have a very good chance of getting a double play. But you do risk the possibility that it slides under your glove. And now the game's 7-0. Brady deals. It goes past Gajero. This is the 3rd guy that Brady has faced today. Brady deals. 0-2 now is a swing and a miss. So with an 0-2 count, Brady deals. There's strike 3. The 3rd strikeout of this game, the 1st for Brady, as Gajero goes down on 3 strikes. That brings up Cash Poulsen. Facing Brady. 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Brady deals. Tipped into the glove of Dunn. 0-1. The 0-1 count from Brady is line to right field. Scow will sit behind it, and there's another run. It's 8-0 now. As Pleasant Grove has just not found someone on the mound. Litkey takes over at first base for Poulsen again. That brings up Crew Ingersoll, and it's been batting 8 this entire series, and he's been a threat. This entire American Fork team is full of threats. As Brady will check on Litkey, he's back in time. Brady through 2/3 of an inning. He kicks and deals. That one lined foul. It curves. As Ingersoll now down 0-1 in this count. American Fork has sent up 17 guys through 2 innings and a third. And Pleasant Grove just hasn't found a way to get them out. As not the strongest baseball from Pleasant Grove in this 3-game series. This is a team that is really good, but they have not proven that against American Fork as Brady steps off. American Fork is always a team that you want to play competitive and always a team that you want to beat. But this year, Pleasant Grove's fallen short in the first 2 games, and American Fork has ran over the Viking pitching staff in this third one, at least thus far. The last time Pleasant Grove beat American Fork was here on this field, April 13th of last year. Thanks to a strong pitching performance from Jaron Spencer, who pitched a complete game. And then there was a big game from Wolf Graham and Slater Scow as that pitch fouled back 1-2. Scow went 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Wolfgram went 1 for 1 with 1 RBI. Scow had a double and 3 singles. And then his brother Riker Scow, 2 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs and a triple. Brady with a 1-2 count. Runner goes. That pitch skied to left field. Wolfgram drifts over, makes the catch. Runner advances to first. So 2 outs now.
You just said runner advance to first.
Moves back to first.
Now hitting for the Caveman, number 3, the right fielder.
As it's Greening now. Two outs here in the bottom of the third. Brady goes high, 1-0. Litke running for Polson. He's on first. And Greening's at the plate with 2 outs here in the third inning. Brady's going to check on Litke, who's back. The 1-0 count. Brady deals. That pitch lined right field. It's foul, but it stays in play. No play for Scow as the count moves 1-1. As Brady needs a ball. And now Dunn gets one. Ball can't just be thrown back. Brady with a 1-1, 2 outs. He kicks, deals. High and outside, 2-1. Two 1 count, 2 outs. The runner at first is Litke. Brady on the mound. Runner goes. And that one hits the runner, or the batter. And that brings up the top of the order, Mascaro. Yet to face Brady.
For American Fork, number 4, C.J. Mascaro.
Brady with 2 outs. Deals. Line to left field. It's curving, and Wolfgram makes a tough catch. And that does it here in the 3rd inning, but not before American Fork puts 2 more on the board. It's 8-0 after 3. We'll be back. Robinson leads off this inning. He'll be followed by Baxter and Henry. That's 5, 6, 7 in Pleasant Grove's lineup. As Robinson's play in center that last inning has been scored as an error.
Leading off the top of the 4th inning for Pleasant Grove, number 3.
Robinson flew out his first time up. He ended the 2nd inning. Or excuse me, did not end the 2nd inning. He ended the 1st inning, if I am correct. That was Mascaro on the mound. Deals. Robinson swings and misses. Count moves 0-1. Pleasant Grove's offense still searching for a hit. As Mascaro's 0-1. Robinson shows bunt. Pitch drops in there for a strike anyway. 0-2. And Pleasant Grove has not been happy with the umpiring this entire series. That was another example. They did not agree with that call. As that pitch high and outside. 1-2. For Robinson and the Vikings. Mascaro deals. Robinson pops that one up. It's the second baseman who moves up and makes the catch. That's Jones, and there's the first out of this inning.
For the Vikings, now hitting number 1, Jacob Baxter.
Jacob Baxter 0 for 1 today. He grounded out his first time up. Mason Henry stands on deck. Then it'll be the 2 catchers, Dunn and Thane. That pitch high and outside, 1-0. As a mound visit now comes in from the American Fork dugout. It's not something you'd usually see at this point. Maybe Mascaro let one go too early.
Built Brands, Umpqua Bank, Tim Valley Floral, ChemDry, Welch Olson LLC, and J-Dogs. Thank you for your support.
Well, they're going to have a talk with the pitcher, Mascaro. As Baxter with a 1-0 count here. And 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. As Baxter steps back in. And the 1-0 from Mascaro. There's a strike, 1-1. Polson has done just such a good job behind the plate defensively this entire series. As Mascaro's 1-1 now is lined to short, fielded by Walker. The throw to first is in time. So 2 outs now in the top of the 4th inning, and that brings up Mason Henry.
For the Vikings, now to play
So Pleasant Grove has only struck out once through 8 outs, but it's all been weak contact. And that's been the issue. 4 ground outs, 5 weak flyouts, and no hits for for Pleasant Grove, on the day. 3 walks for the Vikings, and 1 man was hit. As Henry is in front of 1, 0-1. Seems like Mascaro's done such a good job of mixing up his timing, as the Vikings have been in front and behind him all day. As the catcher Dunn is on deck. As Mascaro takes the mound again. An 0-1 count with 2 outs. Mascaro, the wind, the kick, the pitch is outside, 1-1. So the count knotted up at 1s. Pleasant Grove down 8 in the top of the 4th here, 2 outs. And now a 1-2 count. As the 1-2 from Mascaro is inside, 2-2. I would argue, though, going back to Polson, that Dunn has really been the best defensive catcher and the best catcher overall, both offensively and defensively, this series. But again, 4th straight inning for Pleasant Grove with 2 outs. They've worked a full count, and that's really been the only highlight of the Vikings offense so far. As Mascaro's full count is shot into left center field. Murdoch drifts over, camps under it, and makes the catch. A 1-2-3 4th inning for Pleasant Grove as they head to the bottom of the 4th with a big lead. Still yet to get a hit offensively. And we'll see who they send out for the mound before we step away. It looks like it's going to be Jaron Spencer. And it is going to be Jaron Spencer who comes out to take the mound in the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll have his numbers on the season when we come back. Spencer has pitched 7 1/3 this season. Faced 31 batters, 3 hits allowed, 1 walk, 3 men hit by his pitches, 8 strikeouts, 3 earned runs tacked against him. He has a win, a loss, and a save. On the season, a 2.86 ERA. A good number for him is that 8 strikeout to walk ratio. He leads the team. A .55 whip is the 2nd lowest on the team, only to Noah Brady, who he is coming in relief for. Walker fouls off his first pitch. And the batting average against him, 111, which is also 2nd on the team, also to only Noah Brady. As that pitch a ball, 1-1 now. So Spencer deals. That pitch lined to right center field. Robinson moving back on the track. That's going to roll all the way to the wall, and that's where Robinson will pick it up. He slips as he picks it up, but holding the runner to a double, that's all they get. But Pleasant Grove's pitchers have been hit, and they've been hit hard today. as that brings up Cooper Jones. It was the shortstop Walker who's on second now. And the catcher done, and the pitcher Spencer are going to have a talk. So Spencer against Jones. He deals that pitch lined right to Wilson. It'll go off his glove. Wolfgram will field in left. They'll keep the runners on the corners. Just a hard hit ball. It's going to be scored as a hit. And that brings up Dex Watts. As here in the bottom of the fourth, American Fork is looking to plate 2 or more runs to make the fifth inning do or die for Pleasant Grove. Spencer deals to Watts. Low, 1-0. It's Walker on third, Jones on first, and Watts at the plate. Spencer's 1-0. Is in there for strike one. Pleasant Grove's infield at double play depth. Spencer will check on the runner at first. He's back in time. So for American Fork, for Pleasant Grove, their most effective pitcher was by far Hudson Banks. Complete game, 1 earned run allowed, but that was the only run that American Fork needed in Tuesday's contest. Here's the 1-1. That pitch skied. It's going to stay in the infield. Henry's going to move back, make the catch right next to first base. Runner stay put. And that brings up Howard. And the most effective guy defensively, we've talked about him, Cale Dunn, has just been amazing behind the plate, throwing runners out, blocking pitches in the dirt. And he won the player of the game on Wednesday, as they'll check on the runner at first again. He's back in time. Dunn's the only hitter to win player of the game this series, as Banks won it on Tuesday for his complete game. Spencer deals that one grounded foul. So 8 runs scored by American Fork, 7 of them earned. 5 against Connolly, 1 against Nordic, and then 2 against Brady, but he only had 1 of them earned. Connolly went 1 1/3, Nordic went 1/3, and Brady went another 1 1/3. Now it's Spencer, who's gotten 1 out here in this 4th inning.
Hey, let's go, Jared.
So Spencer's 1-1 is grounded foul, 1-2. And now the 1-2 from Spencer with runners on the corners. Grounded foul again. So way in front of all of these is Howard. As Howard takes a signs from his third base coach before stepping back in. One-two with 1 out. They check on the runner again. It's a good day for baseball. Not a ton of sun, but not a cold day or windy day. I believe the temperature is 62. That's what it feels like. How about there? Spencer's 1-2 is grounded foul again. As Pleasant Grove is going to come out of the dugout to restock. A 1-2 count here after 4 consecutive foul balls by Howard. He's had a really good day today. Now check on the runner again. Henry back. American Fork has 10 hits so far today. They haven't drawn a walk, but they haven't needed to. As Spencer's 1-2. Grounded foul again towards the Pleasant Grove dugout. Yeah, the lack of walks by American Fork is both a good and a bad thing for Pleasant Grove. Obviously, as your pitching staff, you're not trying to give walks, but it would be a lot better for Pleasant Grove if American Fork hadn't drawn any walks and also didn't have 8 runs on the board. But there's a strikeout for Jaron Spencer as he sits down Howard. And runners on the corners now with 2 outs, and it's Gajero. Been apparently saying it wrong the whole series. But the DH comes up with 2 outs. Spencer once again looks over the way of Jones. One thing I have noticed both today and throughout the series from American Fork is they're not aggressive. As runner goes, done, throws, and now caught in a rundown. Pleasant Grove just needs this out. And it gets past him. A run scores for American Fork. It's 9-0 now. And Jones' advance is to second base. The second unearned run by American Fork today. As Pleasant Grove having issues defensively. It's still Gajero at the dish, but now a single likely puts this one in do or die territory. So Spencer with the runner on second, that's Jones. Walker just came in to score. Gajero at the plate. He lines that one up the middle. Baxter fields his throw to Henry is in time, so it's 9-0 after 4. We'll stay with you as we wait for GK Jared. Spencer gets through 1 inning with no earned runs, but 1 run put on the board regardless. American Fork has scored in every inning but the first. Some good signs for Pleasant Grove if you're looking for optimism. No walks from the pitching staff. Only 1 batter has been hit. And then offensively, really the only good numbers, 1 strikeout all day, and then full counts with 2 outs in every single inning so far. But they come out, now they're on the ropes. If American Fork ever has a 10-run lead to end an inning for the remainder of the game, this one's done early. As Pleasant Grove has used 4 pitchers today. Connolly opened the game with a very good first inning, 1-2-3, and then struggled in the second, allowing 5 runs. He got through 1 1/3. Then Pleasant Grove turned to Nordic, who got 1 out before being taken out for Noah Brady, who went 1 1/3. Only faced 7 batters. Just 1 hit allowed. And 1 strikeout. But Pleasant Grove with a 9-0 deficit. GK, what's going on over in that dugout?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Absolutely nothing.
You sound excited?
No.
No?
No.
No? Kale done his second time up today. As he walked his first time up. One of 3 Vikings to walk today. He's walked, Smith has walked, and Thane has walked. Thane is on deck. Mascaro deals. There's strike 1, 0-1. So you're saying nobody's feeling good?
No one's feeling good.
I cannot hear you.
Yeah, I cannot hear myself either.
As Mascaro deals, Thane grounds that one down the third base line. Picked by Howard. The throw to first. Nearly pulls Watts off the bag, but he gets it successfully.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. My lovely voice.
Number 10, Deegan Thane.
Oh, that got a little bit.
My cough?
Yeah.
My bad, guys. Thane, as I just mentioned, walked his first time up. This is his second time here in the top of the 5th inning. Mascaro deals high, 1-0. What's been the message coming back to the dugout, either as hitters or for the pitchers after their outings are over? What's been the message from the coaching staff? Have you caught any of that?
This last inning, nothing really, but last inning there was a saying, let's go, let's win this one, but obviously not the result we wanted.
Yeah, as Thane down 0-2 now in this count on 2 swings and misses. He's been early on 2 Mascaro off-speed pitches. A 1-2 count, excuse me. Mascaro deals. That one lined up the middle. A charging second baseman's throw to first is in time, as Thane can't beat it out. And through 2 times through the order, 0 for 14 from this Pleasant Grove offense.
Don't like to hear it, but
I'm just saying the numbers.
yeah.
Mascaro with 2 outs here deals. There's a strike, 0-1.
Sounds like my volume's still very down.
I feel like you're just talking quiet.
Maybe I am.
As
Yeah,
Smith puts that one in play, Walker fields. Throw on to first is in time. Pleasant Grove goes down 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th inning. 1 run does it tonight. That's all American Fork needs here in the bottom of the 5th. We'll stay with you again. GK, if you're Coach Henry, how well you know Coach Henry, what you would do, what do you say to the team after today? Assuming that everything kind of goes the same way for the rest of this game. What do you say? How do you pick your team up?
Forget about it, work at practice more, move on.
And from your perspective, what's been the biggest issue, not just today, but throughout the series?
I don't know with this team. Comparing it to Westlake, we had really good offense. And I don't know if it's AF's pitching, but they're pitching really good versus us. And maybe it's our offense.
Yeah.
I have no idea, though.
Well, we talked about it, and in the first game, Pleasant Grove had a lot of hard hits. They had a lot of runners on base. They did a really good job of creating traffic on the base paths, but they just couldn't get that run across, and that they only needed 1 to tie up the game after a spectacular performance by Banks. Here's Henry on the mound now. He's the guy I expected to start today. He's up now, but in the second game yesterday, it was the strikeouts that killed Pleasant Grove. 8 strikeouts. Obviously, 21 outs required for American Fork to win that game, so not numbers you want to see. But today, it definitely hasn't been the strikeouts. Only 1 through 5 innings.
Yeah.
So 15 outs, and that's a really good number. If Pleasant Grove has 1 strikeout every 15 outs, I think they're very happy with that offensively.
Yeah.
But it's been weak contact today. So at least from what I've seen, and I talked about this a little earlier, but at least from what I've seen, it's been the offense that's been the issue, but there's not one thing you can point at. It's been a different issue every day for Pleasant Grove, and it's just honestly progressively, it was bad in the first game, but you feel like one hit could have easily made the difference there. A double with runners on first and second as Henry's first pitch drops for a hit in front of Robinson. So Poulsen, his 3rd hit of the day. That brings Litke out. So the first game, you feel like, if you can get a clutch double in multiple situations, that game goes Pleasant Grove's way.
Yes.
Yesterday, you feel like it would have taken 1 or 2 hits, but that game could have gone Pleasant Grove's way. Today, it's just been floundering, both at the plate and on the mound. And that's in large part due to the way American Fork has been pitching and the way that American Fork has been approaching their at-bats. But it's been a struggle, and it doesn't get any easier. as Henry's 0-1 is cut on and missed, 0-2. They have 3 games against Lehigh next week. They start on the road on Tuesday at 3:30. We'll have coverage for you here on PGSN. And then they have a home series against Lone Peak the following week. Home, away, home. And then conclude the season on the road against Skyridge, away, home, away. The 0-2 from Henry. Good block by Dunn. Lake Key was already running, and he successfully gets to second.
Go.
What do you like and dislike about this pitching today?
Well, no offense to the 5 guys who have come out, there's not a lot to like. I do really like the way Jaron Spencer came out in that last inning.
Yes, I
Worked-
think the same thing.
Worked himself into a jam, but worked himself out of it. The only run that was scored was off an error. So he's the only Viking to not have an earned run tacked against him, not counting Henry. As Henry's got a 2-2. He deals. Foul, out of play. And then another thing, Austin Connolly's first inning was beautiful. 1-2-3 inning, 2 strikeouts. It was amazing.
I thought it was going to be on a roll, but...
And then just kind of got hit hard in the second inning. And couldn't find his way. But Henry's 2-2. In the dirt, runner advances to third, and that's the winning run. As Dunn slides to stop the runner at third. But if American Fork scores at all in this inning, this game is over. And it's a full count with nobody out here. What have you liked and disliked about the pitching today?
Same thing as you said. Jaron, he came out really strong. And I honestly think he was the best pitcher so far.
Yeah. I mean, obviously besides Mascaro.
Yeah.
Here's the full count from Henry. That pitch lined past the diving Wilson, and that does it. American Fork walks it off through 4 innings. They win the game 10-0. And a dejected Pleasant Grove team walks off the field. Connolly picks up the loss. GK, that's tough. Technically not an official no-hitter since the game only went 5 innings, but Pleasant Grove's offense doesn't pick up a hit. We've talked about the positives. There's not a ton of them, but only 1 strikeout. Jaron Spencer was a very big positive. Austin Connolly's first inning was a very big positive. But
This one will sting for a bit.
yeah,
Over the weekend, it will sting, but then just got to reset. Got to reset your mind and say, you know what? We're going to go beat Lehigh.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're telling the team?
Yeah.
I
Got to work hard and get reps in the cages. Come back strong next week.
yeah,
Not just offense, but defense.
yeah.
Twice too.
I think defensively wasn't terrible. Obviously, I liked Robinson's idea to dive for the pitch
Yes.
that got under his glove. You need to try and stop the bleeding. You need to try to make a big play, and he was trying to double up Watts.
Yep.
You know, the big thing was just, Baxter's errant throw. Spencer gets out of that inning against that batter who was at the plate. If you're Pleasant Grove and you get that out, first of all, Spencer has a really good outing. You don't see any run tacked against him. And second of all, you just feel a lot better about that infield defense. But that does it here. We'll be back on Tuesday at 3:30 as the Vikings take on the Pioneers. They'll be on the road. We'll be on the road with them. We thank you for tuning in to PGSN today, and we will see you guys on Tuesday.